So, you get the risks of using AI, right? But the real question is, how do you actually fix them in your day-to-day work? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. We're moving past all the theory and getting right into a practical, step-by-step guide for making AI safe and effective in a real business setting. So, let's jump in.
Now, just a quick heads up before we get started. This explainer is part 10 of a really thorough 20-lesson tutorial. It's called Prompt Engineering Strategies, Getting the Results You Want While Protecting Privacy and Sensitive Information. And it's put together by Virtualization Options LLC. It's a fantastic resource, but for now, let's focus on the practical steps you can take right away.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big picture, the prompt security blueprint. Then, we'll see how to weave it into the policies you already have. After that, we'll walk through a solid 5-step plan to get it all done, talk about how to keep an eye on things for safety, and then wrap up with an action plan you can literally start on today.
Look, we all know there are security risks with AI, but knowing about them is one thing. Building a system to actually prevent them is a whole other ballgame. The key here is a mindset shift. You've got to stop treating AI security like some niche tech problem and start seeing it as a core business process, just like how you handle your finances or HR. That's how we go from just talking about it to actually doing something.
And here's the good news. You are not starting from scratch. Nope. The very first step is to look at the security framework your organization is already using. The whole goal is to integrate these new AI guidelines right into the policies your team already knows and understands. It just makes getting everyone on board so much easier.
So where do you plug AI into what you've already got? Well, think about these key areas. Your data classification policy. Does it clearly say what sensitive data can never go into a prompt? What about your acceptable use guidelines? Do they spell out the do's and don'ts for AI tools? Your information handling procedures need rules for prompts, and you absolutely need to update your incident response plan for what happens if an AI-related data breach occurs.
Okay, now for the real meat of this explainer, a clear step-by-step roadmap for rolling out prompt security across your whole organization. And listen, this isn't just a one-and-done project. Think of it more like a cycle of constant improvement.
Here it is, the 5-step plan. You start with assess. That's where you look at your current policies and find all the gaps. Then you develop new specific guidelines just for AI. Step 3, engage, is absolutely critical. You have to get people from IT, legal, and other departments involved. Once you've got everyone on board, you implement and train everybody. And finally, you monitor and refine. You watch how things are going, and you make them better. See? It's a loop, not a straight line.
I really like how this image shows the core challenge, On one side, you've got your people, and on the other, you've got the technology. A successful security plan is all about managing that interaction. And your policy? That's the bridge that connects them both securely.
So, you've built your bridge, but the work is not over, not even close. Setting up the system is really only half the battle. The other half is maintaining it. Security is definitely not a set it and forget it kind of thing. You have to be actively monitoring to make sure the policies are actually working and that you're staying compliant for the long haul. So what does monitoring actually look like? Well, it boils down to 3 key activities. First, usage analytics. You need to know who is using which AI tools and what for. This is huge for spotting risks and figuring out who needs more training. Second, audit trails. Keeping detailed logs of AI interactions is an absolute must for any kind of compliance review. And third, incident detection. You've got to set up automated alerts for weird activity, like a sudden flood of data being sent to an AI. That's your early warning system.
And this quote right here really nails why monitoring is so important. Compliance isn't just a rulebook, it's a critical guardrail that varies significantly across industries. It's not some generic checklist you can just download. The rules for a hospital are totally different from the rules for a bank. These are your guardrails, and they are not optional.
I mean, just look at these examples. In healthcare, with HIPAA, putting any protected patient info into a prompt is a massive violation. In finance, payment card data is a huge no-go. And for basically anyone dealing with customer data from Europe or California, GDPR and CCPA have super strict rules. You just have to know the specific guardrails for your industry. Thankfully, you don't have to do all this by hand. There are specific tools that can help you enforce all these rules. Think of it as a security toolkit. We're talking about things like a centralized library for pre-approved safe prompts or automated systems like DLP and role-based access control. And don't worry, we'll define those in a sec, that basically act as your digital guardrails.
All right, we've covered the blueprint, the 5-step plan, and the monitoring. Now let's bring it all home and turn this knowledge into immediate real-world action. And while we're at it, we'll quickly break down a couple of those key technical terms we just mentioned.
So here's your first totally manageable task. Don't try to write a massive policy document tomorrow. Instead, just draft a simple one-page checklist for your team. What are the top, say, 3 to 5 things they absolutely must remember before they use an AI tool? Things like, did I remove all the customer names? Or is this data public or internal? Start small and build from there.
Okay, we mentioned DLP. Let's define it. Just think of data loss prevention as a really smart security guard for your network's exit doors. It's technology that automatically scans outgoing data, whether that's an email or a prompt, and if it spots something sensitive, like a credit card number, it blocks it before it can ever leave. It's your automated safety net.
Now what about RBAC? Well, role-based access control is a simple but really powerful idea. People should only have access to the tools and information they absolutely need to do their jobs and nothing more. For AI, this could mean a salesperson can only use it to draft emails, while a data analyst gets to use more powerful features. It basically ensures everyone stays in their lane.
So to wrap everything up, I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget all the complex policies and tech for just a moment. Think about behavior. What is one simple security habit your team can realistically start doing tomorrow? Because that's how you build a real, lasting culture of security, one small, simple step at a time.